Maybe I should rename this season from the Andes to the technical issues. In this episode, Cherry and I face an unexpected issue. I don't know what we're gonna do, honestly. Not my day today. This is Cherry, my KTM 390 adventure, and me, Alena. And in this season, we're traveling around Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. We love gorgeous views, beautiful roads, and we don't mind a little bit of challenge. Let's go exploring! Well, I think Cherry and I have a little issue. Yesterday, when we just arrived to Amaluza, the oil light went on, and then there was like this warning that the oil pressure is low. I checked the oil level and it's absolutely fine. So I don't know, now it's off, but I'm kind of slightly worried. Good morning, Cherry and I are ready to leave Amaluza, and today we're heading to Loja, I think, we'll see. I'm a little bit confused, sad, confused, probably confused. Well, we'll see about that. Let's get to Loja. All right, let's ride. Fancy entrance exit to the hotel. Everything is under construction here in the town, so you have to climb over some small hills of rocks every now and then. I don't know how I'm gonna get to Loja today. It says low oil pressure. If I turn off the bike and turn it back on, the warning disappears and I can continue for a little bit more. I talked to a mechanic in Bogota and he says that this might be either the sensor that's not working properly or it's the oil pump. If it's oil pump, then riding with low oil pressure is not the best idea in the world, so it can actually damage the engine, and then I'm gonna run into much bigger problems than what I have now. Well, now I'm aiming for Loja, and that's 3 hours away, and let's see how it goes. I actually wanted to do a cool off-road route here near Amaluza, but it sounds like my best choice right now is to go straight to Loja and hope that Cherry is gonna make it without this stupid warning again. I'm slightly worried. So yeah, that's why I was kind of sad and confused today morning. Sad because I couldn't do that off-road route, confused because I didn't know whether I should even attempt it, but I'm trying to be a responsible adult and not getting myself into some trouble, you know, being on an off-road in the middle of nowhere and running into some oil pressure issues there. I don't know what I would be doing. I'll try to enjoy the beautiful views of this road despite my worries, because it's a super cool curvy road through the mountains. A really beautiful one, as you can already see. Alright, a couple of words about the event. So the event was because of the opening of a monument to a female biker, and I think the idea itself was really cool, and that's why I decided to participate in it. But I think the event itself, I didn't feel it was very interesting or exciting. to be very honest with you. Like, I'm trying to be super honest in my videos, and you see if I'm happy and excited, and I'm happy and excited, and if I'm sad or confused or whatever, mad, then you're gonna see it as well. So I thought it was going to be something in the lines with the motorcycle festivals I've been to in Russia, with, you know, a lot of things happening, a lot of shows, a lot of some kind of competition, some kind of, I don't know, reward. So it's like quite interactive, you know. And here it was basically the day of yesterday when the opening was happening, and we did like a circle around the town, all the motorcycles, where all the female riders were going first. And it was pretty cool because, you know, people from the town were out on the streets cheering us up and taking photos and, I don't know, smiling and waving, you know. So that was kind of cool. But after that, it was like, I don't know, 3 hours of speeches from different authorities, you know, presenting the monument and talking about the bikers community, the females' role in the motorcycle movement. And I mean, it's really cool, but maybe not 3 hours. Especially because it was like an open square without really any shade, and it was super sunny and hot. And another thing that was kind of weird for me is that people here, they exchange the stickers, you know, without even conversation, without asking your name or anything. It's like they come to you and say, do you have a sticker? And I'm like, no, I don't have that many stickers to give away, you know. My stickers are either for friends, you know, people I personally know and have a connection with, or for leaving them at some kind of significant places. Maybe I'm wrong about it, I'm not saying I'm right, but it feels like, for me, the sticker exchange is like a phone number exchange. I don't give my phone number to everybody, I only give it to people whom I want to stay in contact with. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool to be at this event, but to say that I really enjoyed it, not so much. Well, now we've been riding for half an hour without the warning on. Let's see how it goes the rest of the way. Just look at this beauty. Mountains all around. Wow. I think I'm just happiest on the road when riding, when seeing all this beauty. Being solo, just enjoying the ride, the curves, the views. This is amazing for me. This is what makes me happy. We're going pretty well, Cherry and I. No oil warnings, and in a few minutes we should be getting to a really nice viewpoint. Oh, here we have the warning again. Time to stop and let the engine cool down. Not the worst timing in the world, since we just made it to this beautiful viewpoint, and we can just have a little break, fly the drone, enjoy the amazing scenery, and also think of what we are going to do next. Because we have one more issue now. Alright, Cherry and I, we have the issue of the oil pressure, and now we have a leaking shock. Amazing. I don't know what we're gonna do, honestly. Not my day today. So I'll try to go slowly and see where I can get. So maybe if I keep the RPM very low, maybe it's gonna go better. So I know that the downhill goes kind of alright. We'll see about the uphills. Apparently the nearest KTM workshop is in Cuenca, and Cuenca is like 300 kilometers and 4 big uphills from what I've heard. Well, I'm definitely not gonna get to Cuenca today. I'll at least try to get to some kind of nearest somewhat bigger town and maybe try to get a truck to take me to Cuenca. I'm feeling slightly jealous. I want to be able to go faster. I guess if I'm going at low RPM, I'm fine. So now, for example, I'm going downhill on 5th gear and keeping the RPM at 3000. Just before I was going a little bit of uphill and I slightly went over 4000 RPM, and the pressure warning went on again. I lowered the RPM and it went off. So of course with this speed it's gonna be kind of difficult for me to get to Cuenca. Well, definitely not gonna be able to get there in 3 hours, but I should be able to get there. Well, considering it's 1 PM now, it would be smartest for me to get to Loja probably in about 3 hours, maybe 4, I don't know. Spend the night there and then tomorrow leave early morning and get to Cuenca. But since my monoshock is leaking, I'm afraid by tomorrow I'm gonna have 0 oil in there. So now my hesitation is whether I should just keep going today as far as I can towards Cuenca. Look how beautiful though. Very, very beautiful. Maybe I should rename this season from the Andes to the technical issues. I was so close to the border with Peru, literally just a few kilometers from Peru. And now I'm going in completely opposite direction, back towards Colombia. This kind of reminds me of the time that B and I were in Africa. And we just crossed the border from Mauritania to Morocco. And it was about 300 kilometers to the first town in Morocco. And my fuel pump basically died. Well, at that time I didn't know it was my fuel pump dying. I only knew that I couldn't open up the throttle. I mean, I was opening the throttle, but the RPM would drop instead of going up. And I was just basically going at the speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Luckily it was all flat terrain, so there were no uphills or downhills, so I could go with more or less constant speed, but the RPMs kept dropping, so I wasn't even sure I would be able to get to this nearest town. And you're in the middle of Sahara Desert. There is one asphalt road, a very narrow one lane in each direction, and on both sides is just sand, endless sand. The sun went down and I remember being overtaken by those gigantic trucks going at 100 kilometers an hour. Poor little me, almost invisible on the road, going at 50 kilometers an hour, struggling and being afraid to stop and not being able to start again. Well, good memories. B and I survived at that point in time. So I'm pretty sure that Cherry and I are gonna be able to handle this as well. Well, now I at least have, what, 5 hours until the sunset, so I still have a little bit of room for maneuvering and thinking of what to do and how to act. And now I have a downhill, so on downhill I can go a little bit faster. So beautiful. And you see it's kind of foggy, but this is actually not fog. it's the smoke. There have been a lot of fires recently, and yeah, it's the fog from the fires. Oh, nice rock. It's crazy, there are mountains everywhere there, but you can't see them because of the smoke. Maybe I am back in Sahara. Maybe it is a sandstorm. 1 kilometer until the gas station. That's where I'm gonna refuel and maybe get some snacks for the road. I don't want to be wasting time stopping even for lunch. Let's keep going. Whew. Wish me luck. Wish us luck, both Cherry and I. We need luck. Do they have a shop? I hope they have a shop. Yes, they do have a shop. Amazing. Stay hydrated. I'll try to advance towards Cuenca while my monoshock is still working somehow. It's 230 kilometers until Cuenca, and if everything goes well and I keep the average speed about 50-60 kilometers an hour, then theoretically I should be able to get to Cuenca in about 4 or 5 hours, somewhere around sunset. And this is Loja already. Well, we're not stopping here, we're just going to Cuenca. 210 kilometers left. Oh well, this is not exactly how I imagined riding this road. One of the most beautiful paved roads in Ecuador. It's called Ep13, Troncal de la Sierra, or Highlands Road, which, as the name suggests, takes us up into the mountains, where it's quite cold, I would say. Quick break, a little bit of food. This is a tamal. It's made of corn and it has some chicken inside and a hot coffee. It's crazy coming from the hot climate to the cold. I was just 3 hours ago, I was drinking some cold, what do you call it? Electrolytes, and now I'm drinking hot coffee to warm up a little bit. And I'm looking for a hotel at the same time in Cuenca. I'm feeling positive. This is super tasty. Feeling optimistic. We can do it. About 150 kilometers left, and it's almost 5 p.m. So yeah, we'll be arriving after dark. But you know what? Who cares? The important thing is that we actually have a chance to arrive today. I haven't seen the stupid warning since before Loja, so I think my theory of riding at below 4,000 RPM is actually working. And yeah, it gives me quite a bit of hope. And oh my god, this road is beautiful! Cannot deny that. I'm trying to enjoy it as much as possible, even considering the current circumstances. And yeah, this is sunset time. Goodbye, sun. See you again tomorrow. It's getting darker and colder, but with every kilometer, with every minute, we're getting closer and closer to Cuenca. Almost there. Just the last mountain pass. And this is already traffic jam to enter Cuenca. Welcome to Cuenca. We made it!